Good morning, everyone who's joining us today. I'm at the Mellichamp Natives Terrace at the UNC Charlotte Botanical Gardens. If you would, if you can hear me okay, I'm going to make sure that this is my first time doing this. If you can hear me okay and see me all right, please send a like. Oh, good. And also feel free to comment during the whole presentation. I see you, Wendy. Thanks for joining us this morning. As we wait for a few people to join us, so that I can start the tour, I'm going to tell you a little bit about. Oh, thank you, Kira. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Mellichamp Natives Terrace. It was begun about 6 years ago. It was the idea of Dr. Larry Mellichamp and Paula Gross. Larry Mellichamp, as you may have seen in his videos on our YouTube video page, he is a well-known botanist and was our former director. He's now retired and doing great videos for us. So be sure to watch his videos after you watch us today. And I worked collaboratively with Dr. Mellichamp and Paula to design this garden. So if you have some questions or comments that you think I might be able to answer today, I'll be glad to try to answer those questions. And or later on when you're watching, please or watching the video, please email me or post a comment like what is that plant, or why would I want it? So going back just to talk about the gardens, or this part of the gardens. This is the Mellichamp Natives Terrace. Good morning, Dan. Glad you could join us. Thanks for joining us. Amanda, great. Hey, we've got some New Yorkers joining us this morning. That's great. And for the New Yorkers, yes, it is spring, even though you may not know it in New York. It is spring. You can see there's leaves on the trees here. They may not be on the trees in New York. So, getting on to business, this is the Natives Terrace at the UNC Charlotte Botanical Gardens, called the Mellichamp Natives Terrace for Dr. Larry Mellichamp. And like I said before, he was instrumental, along with Paula Gross, and this was his idea, and he wrote it. He developed it in conjunction with his book, Native Plants of the Southeast. So I'm going to walk you around. It's a gorgeous day today. I wish y'all could be here with me and enjoy this beautiful, beautiful day in Charlotte, North Carolina. Hey, if you're outside of Charlotte, by the way, please tell us where you're from. We like having out-of-town guests, even my family in New York State. Hello, Ty, Amanda, and Kathy. Glad you could join me. All right, so let's look at plants. I know that's why you came. Hey, Paula's joining us this morning. Hey, Paula, how are you? Let me see if I can switch this around. Again, I'm a novice at this. Awesome. Okay. So I'm going to pan around and show you, again, this is a beautiful day here at the Botanical Gardens. You may hear some bird noises. Those are real birds, not any fake noises here. I'm standing in the middle of the formal terrace. Polly Oliver, Waxhaw, North Carolina. Jason, good to see you. So I know there are probably many of you who can't come out to the gardens for whatever reason. Maybe you're staying home and staying safe, which is good, or you're probably in line at Costco waiting for the next load of toilet paper. Y'all stay safe and just watch me on this video and look at wonderful native plants. So I'm going to start by talking about the plants here in this formal design garden. Again, these are all Carolina native plants found in the Carolinas. One of my favorites, and you'll see many Yaupon hollies. For those of you who don't know Yaupon hollies, you need to Google it. Sorry, it won't grow in New York, but it will grow in the Carolinas. It's originally from the coastal areas. The one that I'm showing you right now that's sheared very tightly is the cultivar called Micron. Hey Haley, some folks from South Carolina. I'm going to pass the baton over to Tammy Bloom. Tammy is our greenhouse manager. Say hey, Tammy.
Hello.
So again, let's go back to the plants. This is Micron holly. Also, if you have questions, Tammy can, because I'm not watching the camera now, she may not be able to see.
I don't have my glasses on.
She doesn't have her glasses on. So anyway, type big. No, you can't do that. Hey, Haley, is my mom on? My mom is not technically inclined, and she's not sure that she was able to make it. But anyway, she can watch the video. Anyway, going back to plants, let's talk about plants. This is Micron holly, and it's a very compact Yaupon holly. We've been growing this for, I guess, it's been here about 5 years now. The garden itself has been here 6 years. We also have a spiderwort. Tradescantia is the botanical name. A great plant. Something about this plant that is interesting is the Cherokee Indians or American Indians use this plant for food and for medicines.
Why did it just turn by itself?
Technical difficulties?
Yes, it turned all on its own.
Okay.
Holly is asking, is Micron holly evergreen?
Yes, it is. And but one thing about the Micron holly, you can adjust that, like, there you go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, see,
whoa,
yeah,
there we go.
Yeah,
Learning on the job training.
Camera operator in training. So back away from the camera and back to the question. The question about the holly, is it evergreen? Yes. But one thing that
I want it to do. Oh my God. Truly, it just did it all by itself.
Okay, now we got it. You may have to turn it a little bit. So back to the holly here. One of the things, because it is a coastal plant, and we're here in the Piedmont, close to the mountains, it does need a little bit of protection. This particular one, we did have it lose all its leaves when it got really cold from in next years, in future years. We will cover it with a sheet if we have really, really cold nights. Some of the other Yaupon hollies, some of the other selections of Yaupon hollies, we don't have that problem with, and so we don't worry about as much. We were afraid we lost these. Thank goodness we didn't. And so if you have a courtyard situation in Charlotte or you're south of Charlotte, don't have to worry about it. Or if you're a little concerned about it, just plan to cover it when we have cold weather.
We also have a question, is it disease resistant?
Extremely disease resistant. and resistant to pests. Actually, one day I came in and there was a little bunny, baby bunny, sitting on top. It's it's quite the platform, sitting right here, reaching over and eating the phlox, that's Carolina phlox. So it's very disease resistant. It is brittle. This camera just does not love you, does it?
It does not. I didn't touch anything. Brucey Harry says hello.
Hey, Brucey, how are you? All right, we're going to switch it back and see what temperature do you consider really cold in Charlotte? If it gets down in the teens, I know that's your typical temperature in New York State. So we are having fun with this camera. It's got a mind of its own. It's just moving all over the place. So yeah, below 32 is cold in Charlotte. Hey, Laurie, glad you could join us this morning.
The bees are having fun with the trad.
Yeah, let me switch you back and yeah, if it's not, there we go. Yeah, I may have to run it. Yeah, this is the spiderwort, like I told you before. There's Mom. Hi, Mom. Mom has been quarantined in her house for about 8 weeks now. So please send your well wishes to Carolyn Davis. That's my mom. She and Joe and my brother Joe have been sort of quarantined. So hopefully she can enjoy this video as well. Joe has a birthday on Monday too. So wish Joe a happy birthday. So, and then there's Sister Donna. Yes, the whole family. I had to pay them to watch, but it didn't break the bank. So, and avoid any comments from Carolyn Davis or any Davises, because it's not true. Anything they say is not true, unless they're good comments. So if you missed it because I was fiddling with the camera, an important thing about the spiderwort is...
Just every time I touch it, it takes off in the other direction.
Or do you want to just hold it by hand?
Maybe.
Okay, let's just do that. Here you go.
Thank you so much.
Okay, we'll put that down. Okay, so I said about the spiderwort, the Indians used it for food and for medicines. So, you know, not that I'm an ethnobotanist or whatever you call it, call that expert, but look it up, Google it, and you can see the bumblebees are really enjoying it. Actually, this whole garden was developed, well, I mean, you're thinking about natives, to encourage the pollinators as you're gardening. It gives it great animation too. But you see, the bumblebees are the ones that are the types of pollinators that are out now. It's still a little too cool for butterflies and the flies and honeybees. We do have some European honeybees on campus, but they're not out yet because it's just a little too cold right at the moment. So if you hear a thud and a screech, Tammy is on the steps, so I'm going to tell her to be careful if she falls. That's what is happening. I'm going to show you another Yopon holly. This is Schillings. This is a very common Yopon holly. It is evergreen. For the person who asked about evergreen, it is an excellent holly, resistant to disease. One thing I was going to tell you, the only drawback is that it's very brittle. So if you wouldn't want to use it around a playground, you may have issues with kids falling in it and it breaks off large pieces. It does recover, but like right here, this is where somebody accidentally fell in it or stepped in it, and the hole is coming back. One thing about hollies, they're dioecious, which means you have to have a male and a female plant to produce fruit. So Schillings is the male pollinator for this Yaupon holly, which is the female, called Carolina Ruby. Mom, you'll like that because that's your mom's name, Ruby. And it has wonderful red fruit. It's setting fruit now. Again, the male flowers are on the Schillings holly, and then the female flowers and fruit are on this female Carolina Ruby holly. So you really need the two pretty close together to have good pollination. So I'm going to bring you down into this more naturalistic part of the natives terrace. This is what we call the Carolina Meadow. And Polly, if you're still watching, thanks for your help with this and coming up with, because I knew nothing about native perennials. Also, you can thank the cameraman, camera lady, Tammy, for finding all these wonderful native plants. She's the one that helps with resourcing all of those. And when we're not having a pandemic, she will have these for sale at our twice-a-year plant sales. Are y'all sticking with me, the non-plant people? Amanda, Ty, Kathy, everybody okay up there? Hopefully enjoying the spring sights. Hopefully I haven't lost you yet. So one of my favorites for this time of year, now we're probably into more like mid-spring, not early spring, is the mouse-eared Coreopsis. Now it's called mouse-eared because of the wonderful little leaves here. I hope you can see. It looks like little mouse ears, especially this one down here. And it is semi-evergreen, so the flowers don't last throughout the summer. We probably have a couple more weeks of it here in bloom. It's very bright, very easy to grow, does need sun. It may take a little bit of shade, but it prefers the heat and the sun. We've got it placed here on the edge of the walk. It's small, so small in stature compared to some of the taller plants. So again, like we've got it shown, or got it on display here, it's a low plant that forms more of a border. Then to back up just a little bit, this is our wild indigo, or our Baptisia, and it is in the pea family, so you can see that it's got pea-like flowers. The shape is very unusual. The bees, especially the bumblebees, know how to get in there and grab the pollen. So it's fun to watch them go in and try to retrieve this pollen and possibly nectar. Again, I'm not an entomologist, so I don't know. Everybody hearing okay? Send us a thumbs up. I'm getting further away from the camera. I may need to be closer.
I'm not getting comments anymore.
You're not getting comments?
Mm-mm.
Anybody there? Hello? Okay, well, we'll still keep going. Here we have pussy toes. This is Antonaria. It's a great ground cover. Do press the like button if you can hear us.
I don't think it messed it up when you took it off the camera, do you? Or the...
It might have. Antonaria virginica. This is a wonderful ground cover. It grows on roadsides. It's just finished blooming. As you can see, it's starting to set seed here, and forms a wonderful little carpet. We started, Dr. Melichamp brought it to the gardens to try, and as you can see, it crawls over everything. Doesn't love the shade, does need to have a fair amount of water. A great little ground cover. If it gets too much water, I've noticed that it will sort of brown out. We'll walk on down to the penstemon. This is Husker Red. It is a cultivar that has wonderful red foliage and these great looking, almost foxglove-like flowers. A great plant for a native garden in the Carolinas. Penstemon Husker Red. This is Color Guard Yucca. It is evergreen, and that's part of the reason that we placed it here on the edge, is to give this garden some definition in the winter time. And then right next to it is the phlox ground cover here. This is Phlox subulata, creeping phlox. It is evergreen. It's different than the Carolina phlox, Phlox Carolina. And it blooms earlier. That's the one main thing we need to say. I'm passing by columbine here. This reseeds all over the place, and we allow it to come up in various places where it doesn't block the path, which is almost good. And then down here to Carolina phlox. It needs some sun. It may take a little bit of shade. The bunnies like this one, Phlox Carolina. So we've had it here for several years. For some reason, the bunnies are leaving it alone this year. Maybe they have plenty of other things to eat. I'll bring you down here to another Yaupon. This is Ilex vomitoria Hoggy, H-O-G-Y. And for those of you who are watching from South Carolina and may be familiar with Headley Nursery in Seneca, South Carolina, this was a selection that was patented by Bill and Bob Head at Headley Nursery in, it's actually Bounty Land, but the address is Seneca, between Walhalla, where I grew up, and Seneca, South Carolina. And if you Google Hoggy, H-O-G-Y, Holly, Hoggy, Holly, or Ilex, you'll see the patent. It was patented in 2010.
Ed, is this the Swamp Hobbit Elysium?
Yes, thank you for pointing that out.
That's lovely.
And so we have the Swamp Hobbit. It's a very dwarf Elysium or anise. It is a native. I think we got these from Woodlanders. I know that Woodlanders Nursery in Aiken, South Carolina is one of the only nurseries that carries it. It's a very slow grower. This has been here for about 3 years, and it may have doubled in size in those 3 years. And I'll sort of end our talk on more, our tour on more Baptisia, some of our prairie drop seed or spirabolus. Please come to the gardens or stay tuned, and we'll give a longer tour on, or another tour, follow-up tour, maybe I should say, on grasses in the natives' terrace as they come out in the later part of the summer. So we've got spirabolus, a purple buck grass here, and then we've got muley grass here. Again, not much show this time of year, but boy, they do put on a show later on in the summer. Thank you for joining us, and come back for our next Saturday series. If you like us, give us a thumbs up. And if you have comments, snide remarks, please put those on our page. If you think I need to improve on my tour skills, I'll give you my mother's email address, and she'll take those comments and comment back. And she can be quite nasty about her comments if you say something bad about her son. Thank you for joining us, and thank your cameraman, camerawoman, Tammy Bloom, and come out to see us after this pandemic is over. And as always, practice good social distancing. Thank you.